And I think it definitely was in 2014, 2015, 2016, a revolution. So the book, Podcasting, the Audio Media Revolution, started with me and my research and creative partner, Lance Dan, who had been working together on a number of things over the years. And at that time, we were both kind of on the peripheries of podcasting. We sort of dipped in and knew what they were and listened to a few of them. We weren't really taking them seriously, and we were both working, when we were working in audio, in radio mostly, rather than in podcasting. But in 2014, a couple of really key things came together. First was that Apple, on its new iPhones, built into the operating system a podcasts app. So
Yep.
previously, if you wanted to listen to a podcast, you had to download an app, set it up, subscribe to the feeds that you wanted, and then you would listen. But in 2014, when you bought a new iPhone, it came with a podcast app. That's the first really big thing. The other big thing is a kind of huge innovation and leap forward in the concept of podcasting and in podcasting content. So in 2014, the huge podcast Serial broke, and I came to this.
Its title was Serial, right?
Yeah, its title was Serial. Yeah, and it was a production from WBEZ in Chicago, which was under the umbrella of This American Life. I had seen a couple of newspaper stories about it, read a couple of newspaper stories, but in the autumn of 2014, I was at an awards ceremony at the Reuters news agency headquarters on the Thames in London. It was an award ceremony for young journalists, and I had a couple of students there who were in the running for some awards.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was a really lovely moment. And in the lobby before the ceremony started, there were a bunch of little tables, there were drinks being served, and I kind of wandered around from table to table with all of these young people, all these young audio producers, and I was asking them what they were listening to, what kinds of things you were finding exciting at this particular moment in time. And table after table after table told me Serial. Oh, I love Serial. It's so amazing. I can't not listen. I love Sarah Koenig. I love what she does. She really kind of gets into my head in a way that I never would have expected. I want to make podcasts just like her. I want to make audio just like her. And like, they were describing this story of Adnan Syed and Hae Min Lee and a murder that happened in 1999 in a high school in Baltimore, and how invested they were in the characters. And I thought, wow, this is a reaction that I didn't expect, a kind of a level of reaction that I thought really kind of needed to be understood and taken seriously.
They're
So
like fans.
they were fans, exactly. So I went home and I downloaded all the available episodes of Serial, and the next day I binge listened, and it was a kind of revelation to me of how to marry really, really, really sophisticated storytelling concepts, ideas, and structures with a true crime reportage documentary project. And I was blown away, like so many people. So this kind
Wow,
of
and now I got to listen to it.
no, if you haven't listened,
Yeah.
you have to listen. The first season especially is the really revolutionary moment.
Okay.
So when Lance and I discovered Serial, when Serial was first being distributed, we were both struck by it, and we were both ready to take this thing seriously. We were looking around at other books that were published about podcasting. Most of them were about monetizing podcasts or producing podcasts. None of them were what I would call really substantive. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to uncover, discover, and point to what was new and exciting and different in the podcast format. What could it do? What affordances did it have that other media didn't have? And there are plenty of very smart people then and now who still see podcasting as merely an extension of radio. But that was not the hill that we wanted to plant our flag on. We wanted to describe it as something new because we felt it was new, particularly in the way it engaged with its audience.